Well, welcome back to the fourth and final quarter of our Super Bowl of preaching. We have a very special treat for you today. Our senior citizen of the year with his brand new hip, John Grandpa Burke. It's good.
Are you refs from New England? Because you call it like they do.
Do you need your glasses? You all right? Let me get them? I can go
Hey,
get
I
them.
think you ought to lend Eric next year your Celine Dion background music.
Okay, I love Celine. She's my
Going
girl.
really well with his message.
It's good.
All right, bucket of chaos. I've seen a man shave his chest. I don't think this is right. I've seen a man shave his chest down to a mustache under his navel.
Okay, that's
All right.
weird. Fourth quarter, here we go.
Well, you know, someone gave me this Bible. I never knew when I'd get a chance to use it, but I have pulled out my football edition Bible for this special. What?
We have illegal use of equipment. That is clearly a soccer Bible, not an American football Bible.
Football in 160,000 countries. Football.
There's only like 300 countries.
Hey.
But that's going to be a 5-yard penalty and a repeat of the first down.
Come on.
Oh, okay.
Ref.
I can do this in terms you might understand.
Yellow card.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as my Bible says, we have been made a spectacle to the whole universe. We are fools for Christ, which is exactly what I felt like after that dance. What we do for you guys. Anyway, as my young Padawan apprentice, Kenny Green, so brilliantly said, you can have hope. It doesn't matter where you've been or what you've done, because God is a God that accepts and loves and forgives, and you have hope to move forward. And even as our opponents, Justin and Eric, fumbled along to explain, God is a God of the impossible. What?
I'm going to call an unsportsmanlike conduct. It's roughing the pastor with an intentional bad pun. 10-yard
Not
penalty,
a bad
loss of a
pun.
down.
That was an adjective appropriately placed.
Yeah.
They fumbled.
John, you seem really angry. Is the Metamucil not working?
Well, at least I'm regular.
I'll get you the Fitbit Deuce next time.
Anyway, there is hope to start again, to become more. But let's not be Pollyanna, because sometimes life can beat the hope out of you, can it? You know, just like the Eagles beat the hope out of the Vikings. You know, sometimes life comes at you and evil just puts you on your back. You ever just felt sacked again and again in this world? I know I have. You know, I've seen a man shave his chest down to a mustache under his navel. Sometimes life is evil and wrong. And when there's all this talk about hope, but life doesn't feel like it, what do? Like my friend who's a doctor, whose 21-year-old daughter, Naomi, will never walk or talk or play or say, I love you, Mom and Dad. Where's the hope there? Or like when I had to watch my mom die over 8 years of Alzheimer's. Where's the hope? What do you hope for there? Or if you've traveled to impoverished countries like I have and you see the powerful oppress the powerless over and over again, what hope is there? And even in our country, there's injustice and there's evil that people do and get away with. And you say, where's the hope? Hope in God sounds hollow, doesn't it? Unless you understand a greater hope. The greater hope is that God promises that one day Naomi will run and play and laugh and tell her parents how much their care mattered. The hope is that God promises that one day He will overcome all evil and injustice. And God wants you to understand the greater hope so that you don't lose hope today. Romans 8:18 says, yet what we suffer now is nothing compared to the glory He will reveal to us later. For all creation is waiting eagerly for that future day when God will reveal who His children really are. Against its will, all creation was subjected to God's curse, but with eager hope, the creation looks forward to the day when it will join God's children in glorious freedom from death and decay. For we know that all creation has been groaning as in the pains of childbirth right up to the present time. See, God wants you to understand the context you and I live in. It's not heaven, this is not hell, this is in between. This is a birth canal where God is giving birth to eternal, free, loving creatures. And God's curse is that He gave us what we asked for. My will be done, God. I know what's best for me. And so we see a world where all of us play God and it causes chaos. We live in the knowledge of both good and evil. We experience the good that God's given, all the beauty and the love and the excitement of life that He wants us to enjoy, but in a world where things don't go according to God's will, and where there is death and there's disease and people do evil things. And yet God allows it for a time in hope, in eager hope that all humanity will turn back to Him. That like runaway children will finally get sick and tired of being sick and tired and cold and hungry and will just come home. And God's great promise is for all who do, He'll make it more than worth it. Mother Teresa said it like this: in light of heaven, the worst suffering on earth will be seen as no more serious than one night in an inconvenient hotel. Isn't that good? That's why Paul could say, in Romans 8:23, we too wait with eager hope for that day when God will give us our full rights as His adopted children. And we were given this hope when we were saved. Saved just means set right with God. What we've been talking about is that God paid through Jesus' death on the cross for all our wrongs so that everyone who's willing to stop playing God, to stop trying to force our will and ways, can simply come home and be forgiven and learn to walk with God daily and overcoming the hurts and the evils of this world as we follow God's will and ways. And that overcomes evil. I saw such a beautiful example of it just this week. Team U.S. gymnast Rachel Den Hollander is a Christ follower. That's why she found the courage to confront the evil that Larry Nassar, the Team USA, the USA gymnast doctor, had been doing for 20 years, sexually molesting 140 young girls under the guise of medical care. And Den Hollander risked her reputation to come forward and denounce his actions and call for justice. And when he got life in prison, instead of more condemnation, you know what she did? She offered him hope. Preposterous. But exactly what Jesus did as they were nailing him to a cross, and he cried out, Father, forgive them, they don't know what they do. Rachel told Dr. Nassar in no uncertain terms the cost of the evil that he had done against these girls. But then she said, that's what makes the gospel of Christ so sweet, because it extends grace and hope and mercy where none should be found. And it will be there for you, Larry. And then she pleaded with him to seek forgiveness from God and let God change his heart, and she forgave him. Amazing. But friends, that is how God is overcoming evil in this world, with our free will, one willing life at a time, but we must choose. So what do you choose? The great hope is what the Bible ends with. Revelation 21:3, look, God's home is now among His people, and He will live with them, and He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There'll be no more death or sorrow or crying or pain. All these things are gone forever. So friends, whatever evil comes against you, hold on to hope. Whatever suffering you go through, hold on to hope. Whatever trials you have to endure, hold on to hope, because if you're on God's team wins in the end.
That's a touchdown for Old Man Rivers. 7 points to be added to his score. An additional 3 points for that really weird phrase in the bucket of chaos. It brings our final score at the end of the... Oh, yeah.
We have some delay of game penalties to assess.
Bring it on, yes.
The contenders went over by 3 minutes, so that's 3 points off their score.
Shame.
And the champions went over by 3 minutes, making us all late for lunch. And that brings the final score to contenders 13, champions 14.
All right.
look. Good look. Very good. Hey guys, I'm not sure you're aware of this, but joining us on the stage right here, let's give it up for this is the McNeil High School drill team that has joined us today. And that is an official wrap on the 4th annual Super Bowl of Preaching for the Gateway Sports Network. I'm Rob Overholt, known to one as Bob.
That's right, I'm Justine Girdler. And in all seriousness, we have a great series coming up next week we'd love for you to come to called Get a New God, about how we all have misconceptions about who God really is. Our prayer team is going to be available at the end of service down here at the front.
And one last reminder, if you're new or if you've not done so before, we'd love it if you fill out a Connect card. Just kind of let us know who you are. We'd love to get some information to you. We'd also love to know if anything stirred in you today and there's anything you'd like to communicate to us, that'd be great. But for now, go join some post-game tailgating. There is hot dogs and games and root beer kegs, oh my. And all proceeds of anything sold out there are going to go to help our global partner, Mission of Hope Haiti. Thanks for being here. Have a great week.